All right, family. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Soon Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. Yes, family, we're excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page with a lot of amazing perks, exclusive live streams, behind the scene footage, that I provide for my members. You should click the link, the join link. You'll get a video introduction to the memberships. Go over the memberships if you like. Join, because you join in a profound and dynamic YouTube page you already know. And even if you don't join, we appreciate your presence over at Sarah Soon Seti's YouTube page, General Seti's YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to grow. That's right. This Sunday is going down when Egypt ruled the earth. Father's Day, a profound, dynamic. Nobody does it better. I'm going to tell you that over and over again. You see so many of these guys out here eating off of, research I did over damn near 15, 20 years ago. They can't advance because I'm the one advancing it. You see, believe it or not. You see, and so when Egypt ruled the earth, one of the most profound video presentations that you will ever witness, most definitely click the link in the video description in the chat room. Get your ticket. General Seti, keep it leaping on Ticket Leap. That's right. So all you have to do is go over to generalseti.ticketleap.com, click that link, and you will get access to all the lectures that's in queue that's coming up right after that. The Sunday after next, June 25th, Creatures from the Caucasus, Endgame, Prophecy Fulfillment. Not only are we going to talk about what he is, we talking about how we going to get him up out of here. You see, and I got the blueprint for you, and it is the blueprint. And you understand what I'm saying? And this is we have to put a warning on this. I had to put a warning on this one. So you got to be strong at heart when you come in here for this one. You cannot be weak at heart. And so make sure you go to generalseti.ticketleap.com and be on deck. They both matter of fact, both links is right there in the video description, right there in the chat. Click them links and be in the house on June 18th and June 25th. That's right. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Soon Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts and hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor accessories for every room in the house. We got you. We highlighting our t-shirt collection, tank top collection for the summer. We got some fly, divine, royal tank top t-shirts for the kings and the queens. You see what I'm saying? And not only do we got them, we got over 50, 60 new t-shirts on deck. We also got them for the youth. You see, we also got the RBG Junior. You can go right onto the site. You can go to new items, or you can go to t-shirts and you can drop down. You get the drop downs for the kings, the queens, and the children now. And so we even got mugs. You want a black power, you might got your latte, you got your cappuccino. Some niggas might even got some of that, might got some of that hen dog. You see, I don't encourage you to do that, but hey, you got to pour it into something. If that's what you do, you got to pour it into something. And so we got your black power, might need a look, clean your lungs out. That's right. And so we got you, Africa. We got about 6 or 7, probably more mugs on deck, and we got tote bags. So if you go to new items, you'll see all the new products we have. And man, we got some powerful products: African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. KingSeti.com. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com. General Seti University. Over 1,000 video presentations on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building, advanced African academics, Developing the Black Nation one lesson at a time. To complete General Sarasun Seti website class is in session, highlighting today the complete ancient Egyptian study, deep instructions on the mystery system, ban the cult, New World Order, Illuminati video, and Rise of the Neanderthals. And we got the new one coming up, but it's a hell of a library of videos on deck right there for the creatures of the Caucasus that'll blow your mind clean out the socket. You need to get over there and check it out. You see, General Seti keep it popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come, exclusive live streams, too hot to handle on YouTube, or so exquisite we keep it for our family on Patreon. We just dropped tonight. If you was not there, you missed it. All-powerful Champollion and the false teachings of the Medunetta class 2, 1 and 2, and so it's going up to 12 classes. And so there's no way you could get out of them 12. Listen, most of them Medunetta niggas gonna fall in the first 2 classes. But I guarantee you by the time we get to 12, it will be no doubt. And niggas out there still crying to this day. Seti, why you doing this? You know, I see you niggas out there crying. Seti, why you doing this to the Medunetta? How we gonna be able to speak to the ancestors if we ain't got Champollion? Crying, you see? And so, and not only did we do the Champollion, we also dropped down, is there a secret chamber under the Sphinx that leads to an ancient library? We did both of those live streams tonight, and both of them is fire. So get over there to the Patreon. It's over 185 exclusive live streams only to be seen on Patreon. Was there once giants living in ancient Egypt? 1 and 2, and the sacred black art of alchemy, the divinity of blackness codified in language. You can get that one on YouTube as a member and Patreon. You see, and you can get that one on both. And so make sure you check me out, become a member, get the extra curriculum. Believe me, it's worth it. Believe me, it's worth it. And so make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And make sure you comment, family. Comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. You will be up out of there. All right, family. 5 diseases causing havoc on the black community. We want to talk about it today. And people they're going to sleep on this shit, man. They don't want to take it serious. You see, they don't want to take it serious. And these are, weapons of mass destruction on our people. You see, weapons of mass destruction on our people. And so they're saying health conditions, listen to me, like colon cancer and cardiovascular diseases impact people within the black community at much higher rates than most other racial backgrounds, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. More often than not, the reason why isn't linked to genetics. We have to remember that there is a structural racism in our society, and that this has been linked to causation to our diseases, says Dr. Kendra Outler, a board certified anesthesiologist with a background in public health. And even after the onset of life-threatening conditions, systematic issues lead to health disparities that prevent many black people from accessing the resources they need. So you could be ill, don't have access. See, if you ain't got the paper, you ain't, but there's other ways. But we ain't even looking to the other ways either. You see, there are 5 health conditions that are plaguing black communities at alarming rates. though the full list far exceeds this one. Number 1, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, stroke, congestive heart failure. Okay? Non-Hispanic black persons were more than twice as likely as non-Hispanic Asian or Pacific Islander persons to die of heart disease in 1999 and 2017. You see, according to the CDC. Now, I don't even, they saying non-Hispanic black person, okay? So I guess a non-Hispanic Asian or okay. And so they saying, so number 1 is cardiovascular disease, hypertension, stroke, high blood pressure, you see, stroke, and congestive heart failure. That's bad. Oh, that's bad. You see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers having heart attacks. You see, just dying and shit. What the hell is going on? It got a lot to do with what we eat. I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you another thing, stressing. You see, if you living in stress, you see that can be a heavy, critical point that brings on all kind of diseases. Motherfucker stressing, nigga, you putting pressure on the heart, the mind, you see, stress. And that's what go on in the black community at an alarming rate. Because we ain't got it together. We don't know that getting it together would take stress off of us. Even a harmonious, living with our family could change a lot of this around. The fact that we keep tension outside of the hypertension, the tension that go on in the goddamn community, stress. You see, living in a stress where anything is possible, deplorability, motherfucking sick ass niggas doing all type of crazy shit in the community. You see, people stressed out, not taking care of our community as far as economically. People living from paycheck to paycheck if they got a job at all. See, a lot of this come from us living in the self-hate. Self-hate. They talking about the biggest disease. I think the self-hate would probably be number 1. That's probably the biggest disease. Self-hate. Leading to all the other diseases. You see? Causing unnecessary stress on self, on the community, on your family. Self-hate cause you to eat a fucked up diet. Not just self-hate, the lack of establishing of black economics so that we could take care of ourselves, establishing, our own food growing program by owning land, feeding ourselves. They ain't gonna feed you right. They ain't gonna teach you right. They ain't gonna feed you right. They don't want no healthy Africans that can think. They don't want that. They don't want that. And plus, they're about depopulation right now any goddamn way. You see? They about depopulation anyway. Let these niggas do whatever in the other communities too. I ain't worried about them, but they don't give a goddamn. They're not about to feed you. You see? And they know if they don't, all the things that they provide for you gonna poison you. If you ain't getting it out, you getting it in the air. You can't even breathe no goddamn more. You see? They're gonna be selling air in a minute because a motherfucker ain't gonna be able to. The water fucked up. You ain't even shit. The shit probably 50% water, 50% oil. goddamn, and all other kind of toxins all in the goddamn water. Because they don't give a goddamn. They ain't got no inheritance on this earth. You see? And so these is a lot, if we could create the world that our ancestors had, my under my eye, you see, protecting Mother Earth, you understand, keeping the air clean, keeping the ground, the earth, soil clean that we grow our food in, you see, that is, could change a lot of this. The lack of knowledge of self is the source, and self-hate, the lack of knowledge of self and self-hate is the origin of all these damn diseases, period. Not taking over your community and establishing black power, which is black upliftment. Black health is black upliftment, is black power. Don't want to establish it. And so, number two, now a lot of people seem to have forgotten about it. A lot of people have seen, now when was this put? It was put out this year. A lot of people have forgotten about it. HIV, human immune deficiency virus. In 2019, blacks, African Americans represent 13% of the US population, but 40% of people with HIV. With HIV, family, 40%. Man, they some did, you see, again, we didn't seem to forgot about that. We didn't seem to have forgotten about that, but it's still out there, you see, and it's still ravaging our people, you see. And so number two is HIV still, that's knowledge of self. That's knowledge of self. Understanding that, man, it ain't no game out here. It ain't no game. It ain't no game. It's no game out here. You got to have, you got to be careful. You got to have some sense of boundary and just being out here. Them days it ain't never been them days. You see? It ain't never been them days. And so, a lot of our people, they living without borders, without limit. You see? There's no rules, no restraint. And and so it's all that shit is out here. HIV, herpes, syphilis, all that is out here. I don't even understand it. I don't even understand it. And the crazy shit about it, it'd be our people that catch it the most. That means we got to really get our shit together as far as, but you know what? When you ain't got love, and it go, and I don't care, because I put it on the black man. I do. I don't, because you the king. You the king. And I always go here. Let me go here. And and a lot of people say, Seti, why you say that, Seti? Because I want you to rise, brother. I want you to rise. I want you to gain supremacy. And I don't want you to be foolish about what that take. I don't want you to be foolish about what that take. You see, I blame it on the black man. And it's the right thing to do. So he know that he's not confused about what the fuck this is. You ain't gonna get, Mark 3:27. I'm giving you the formula. There's a form, just like mathematics. Life is, the universe is mathematics. Everything in goddamn life is mathematics, nigga. You can work the equation. You can get out of it. You can, whatever you're trying to achieve. There's a formula. Ain't no damn doubt about it. To achieve anything that you want. Or, or for your adversary to achieve anything he wants. Even for you to fall into bad grace, there's a formula for that. You see? Mark 3:27, no man can enter into a strong man's house. This is profound. Motherfuckers say what they want. This right here is profound. And spoil his goods. I'm going to say it again. No man can enter into a strong man's house. And you can stop right there. Because we keep asking, and we have to ask it, and we have to be truthful. How did this Cro-Magnon get on the, knuckles dragging the ground, was able to seize a continent like that? See, it's some things we leaving out. Yes, we was great, but it's some things we was leaving out. Yes, we were gods and still is God, but there's some things that we're leaving out. Yes, we built civilization that lasted for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Yes, but there's some things that we're leaving out. Yes, we created math, science, astronomy. We established the first civilization, governments that ever existed on the planet. Yes, but there's some things that we're leaving out. And we cannot lie to ourselves about that. No man can enter into a strong man's house. I stop right there. So how strong was we at that time when he entered? Were we at our height? More than likely we wasn't. If we're going to be real with ourselves. There was some shit going on. Tribalisms and shit. Some shits was going on. And sometimes all you need is a crack to get in. And once you get in that crack, you spread that motherfucker. And there was some cracks that they got in. And before long, you see, they was wide open. You see? And so we had to stop right there. No man can enter into a strong man's house. Then the second part of the equation, and spoil his goods. Now, when you say goods, now we ain't saying it to devalue, but the goods is those things inside the house. Your family, they're greater than, but this is what it's saying. This is an allegory. Your family, your wife, your children, your economy, your spirituality, your education, those are the goods. So there's no way for him to spoil it. First and foremost, no man can enter into a strong man's house. We got to deal with that right there. And part two of the equation, then spoil his good. Because there's no way to spoil his goods if he's a strong man. See? No way to spoil his good if he's a strong man. I want you to hear that. No way. So if you look today and you see the elements of how civilization have fallen down to where it's at, the disrespect that's going on between family, between the black woman and man, between the black child and man, even between the mother and child. You see, none of that would be going on if there was a strong man. No way. No way. Because we seen for thousands of years when he was strong. The woman was venerated. The children were venerated. You see that all over the walls. You see? Something has happened that niggas ain't dealing with. And to just, and we talk about the great, that's us. But redemption is necessary. We can't play ourselves and say, yes, that's us. But redemption, that's why Marcus Garvey said redemption. We must redeem ourselves. There has been no redemption. And so what happens is we argue with the woman. We argue with the children. We argue, and wherever they at, it was because, nigga, at that time, you was not a strong man. And you allowed for motherfuckers to enter your home, whether they even look like you. You see? And they bound the strong man. You see? And so the third part of the equation, I'm going to go over 1 and 2 again. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except the part. So no man can enter into a strong man's house. Number 1, that just end the conversation. Number 2, and spoil his goods. Number 3, except he will first bind the strong man in the mind, in the spirit, in the physical. Binding. And when there's no support, no defense for the woman, for the children, for the house, for the government, for the economy, for the education, for the spirituality, and then, number 4, part of this equation, and then he will spoil his house. And then he will spoil his house. So what you look at today is the spoiled house. In many respects, you're looking at the spoiled house. And so what we do, I don't do it. You see niggas get on the internet, they mad at the woman, whatever she, and every woman ain't the same, just like every man ain't the same. But overall, nobody's getting away from the fact that one way or another, even if you what they call what I call them, neutralized nigga that don't do nothing, you still a part of it. You see, because we haven't moved to make the correction as a whole. So if you a neutralized nigga and you just sit back and you just as much a part of it as any goddamn body else. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is, now that the house is spoiled, you talk down on the woman, you talk down on the children who are not going to develop without a goddamn strong man. Not going to do it. They're being pillaged and plundered over generations and generations and generations. And so you rather look at them and you rather be in confrontation with them about the plight of the people instead of taking it to the beast. So whoever the man was that bound the strong man, that's who you got to deal with, because he done took you off the block. You can argue with the woman, the children, the elders all day. You can beg the man that bound you to unbound you, unspoil your house. He's not going to do that. You see? And so you done punked out because you don't want to deal with the man that bound you, spoiled the house. And your family like, fuck you, nigga. You didn't have time to deal with this beast. You ain't done it, nigga. So what kind of respect? Because we in the gut, and somehow, nigga, we still in the gut. Still in the gut. Okay? Ain't nothing changed. And so if we are these things that we say we are, then ultimately it's shameful to live in the belly. We created civilization, we created government, we created is shameful. It's deplorably shameful to live in another man's gut at his whim. You understand what I'm saying? At his whims. You see what I'm saying? You know, scraping up the crumbs of a house that he didn't stole. That's shameful. You see? And so ultimately the redemption of and everything, even the diseases, is a reflection that we have no house. We have no house. Our system of morality and structure has been destroyed. It don't look like motherfuckers want to have any, because ultimately, when you start establishing that, they coming. They don't. You ain't got to say shit to them. They didn't bring you over here, nigga, to be successful and have beautiful families. And if they wanted you, if they really wanted, they would have left you in Africa. That was their intention. They didn't come here and and build this shit up, nigga, for you to be healthy and you understand, get health care, nigga, do what you supposed to do, die and get your ass in the ground. That's what they say. You see? And so ultimately, even when we talk about all these diseases, everything that we see that could change, our condition, they're going to fight us on it. So ultimately, everything we do that's going to bring us to redemption, they're going to fight us on it. You see? And so that's the reality. But the fight is for the man. He the man. He the one that's supposed to lead the fight. It didn't say if they bound the strong woman or the strong child. And how do you expect them to develop in harmony, peace? You see, in harmony and peace of the universe, if there's no man at the helm that's willing to break backs anyone outside of the nation, the family structure, that would try to disrupt that. That's when you see the greatness of our people. So there's a formula there. And ain't no way you can argue all day with that woman. You can argue all day. That shit weak. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of that. We got to move past that straight up and deal with the real issues. And so we're looking at, some of the, and this, I had to make the connections on that so that you understand. Now you can get off of this motherfucker and get mad all the fuck you want. Bye, nigga. Bye. Bye. Your ass, it ain't gonna change a goddamn thing. Metabolic syndrome. Between 1988 and 2012, non-Hispanic black women were more likely than non-Hispanic white women to have metabolic syndrome. Now let's deal with that. Metabolic syndrome. A cluster of conditions that occur together, increasing to increasing your risk of heart attack, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. These conditions include increased blood pressure, high blood sugar, excessive body fat around the waist, abnormal cholesterol or triglyceride levels. Having just one of these conditions doesn't mean you have metabolic syndrome, but it does mean you have a greater risk of serious disease. And if you develop more of these conditions, your risk of complications, such as type 2 diabetes and heart disease, rises even higher. Okay, metabolic syndrome is increasingly common, and up to 1/3 of U.S. adults have it. If you have metabolic syndrome, any of its components, aggressive lifestyle changes can delay or even prevent the development of serious heart health problems. Okay, and so metabolic syndrome. So that means, and so number 4, colon cancer, and that's with the brothers. 2016, black man had the highest incidence and more mortality rates colorectal cancer when compared to other racial groups. You see, so that right there, that's sad. That's sad. Mental health conditions like depression. Number 5, in 2021, all of this shit is from exactly what I'm saying. Living in slavery, living in oppression, living in an unnatural state, you see, for so damn long. In 2021, Black Americans were 1.16 times more likely to screen positive for depression than white respondents. According to a PLOS1 study of nearly 700,000 participants in the US and UK. Thankfully, there are signs you can look out for early on and preventative practices you can implement in your life today to help you help protect yourself from developing these diseases. You see, early signs, preventative measures for 5 health conditions affecting the Black community: cardiovascular disease, early signs, high blood pressure, anything over 120/80 is elevated, and over 130/90 classifies as hypertension, shortness of breath, while completing routine activities like walking up the stairs, tightness in the chest. Preventative measures: know your family history. Does any of your family have high blood pressures? Have any of your family members had a stroke? Check your blood pressure numbers. Limit your sodium intake. Exercise. HIV, early signs: unexplained fever, weight loss, unexplained infections like repeat sore throat and swollen limbs. Preventative measures: practice safe sex. Get your family in line. See, all that, not practicing and being immoral out there and shit, that come, if you had your family structure together, you would be getting married. You understand? I know it seems, but that's the reality. Getting you a wife, getting you a husband, having a family. Motherfuckers don't want to talk about that because the society is so deplorable. It's like, you don't see nothing in there. That's righteous. When you look up on the walls, even the deities had, were in the family structure in ancient Egypt. In any other structure, they had families. You see, now if you went to the Greco-Roman, Zeus and shit was a rapist, a homosexual, and all that other shit. You see, you living in the Cro-Magnon world. Practice safe sex. Be aware of symptoms and risk factors. Receive HIV testing if you're experiencing symptoms. Metabolic syndrome, early signs: elevated cholesterol, having trouble losing weight, high blood pressure. Preventative measures: educate yourself on metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a combination of conditions including glucose intolerance, hypertension, and increased abdominal growth. Look at family members. Does anyone else in your family struggle with metabolic syndrome? Measure your waistline. Over 40 inches for men, over 35 inches for women is indicative of metabolic syndrome, especially if your arms and legs are much smaller than your midsection. Colon cancer, early sign: constipation, rectal bleeding. Extreme weight loss. Preventative measure: acquired by any of your family members having colon cancer. Getting an earlier screening of colon cancer before age 45. If it runs in your family, speak with trusted loved ones and doctors about changes in bowel movement. Mental health conditions, early sign: sleep disturbance, lack of energy, lack of interest in activities that you previously enjoyed, feelings of sadness and emptiness. Preventative measures, share how you feel with people you trust. Journaling, I guess that writing down, information. Seek mental health support in times of need, including the National Crisis Hotline 988. Consider apps for mental health support to get in touch with a professional sooner. That's if, and getting some black power up in this motherfucker and easing the tension you see in the goddamn black community. And a lot of family put a lot of information out there in the chat. The natural, things that can be done. We know our family got a lot of knowledge out there too. And so we include all of what the family have added in the chat also. You see, we got to heal ourselves. You see, but the healing must also take place in the spirit, in the mind, and in the same should happen in economics and education and nationalism, and lastly, rebuilding the African family, which is the ultimate objective of anything, rebuilding, redeeming the African family. That's what it's about. You redeem the African family, you redeem the African nation. That is going to be the ultimate healing of all diseases of the mind, or the spirit, or the body. That and that alone will be the ultimate cure and healing of all diseases, mind, physical, and spiritual. This is General Sarasu Seti. Thank you for being here today. Make sure you click them links. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.